Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We're going to work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that this guy follows. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That is where I dive deeper into this stuff and how to play it with individual companies. We do have a discount coupon code going on. Mayday, one word, MAYDAY is our discount coupon code. And let's dive in here. Let's take a look and I'll share my financial opinions with what I see in the markets today. So with the DXY, we are getting a little bit of a sell-off and we're seeing weaker yields. So that is all in alignment. We are still above key support levels, which I would consider this white line going at the 45-ish and then the horizontal line. We have a lot of support down in this box region there. So we have short-term weakness, and that does look like we could go into that support region at some point here soon. The reason I say that is because of yields. The 2-year yield does look like it's a little bit weak here and wants to pop out to the downside. What does that mean? Well, maybe we get a little bit of lowering yields and the Federal Reserve may consider or is considering lowering interest rates. Because the 2-year yield, obviously they've got insider information here. This looks like it wants to break to the downside. 10-year yield also a little bit weaker today, down 0.8, and it does look like we want to go a little bit lower here. And the 30-year yield also dropping a bit today, looking like we could potentially head lower. This is all fuel for the precious metals bull market, or PMs to go up with yields and dollar going down. TYX TNX ratio slightly higher today, nothing too big. But again, if we see this uninvert, jet fuel or precious metals. Bond prices heading up a little bit, and that makes sense with yields going down. And this does look like it could head on higher with this bullish engulfing patterns. So that does look pretty good, and we could see yields weaken further. The 2 and 10 not really going anywhere. Maybe we are going to get stuffed up here on this resistance line that I drew a while back here. Somewhere in this range there. We're right on top of it. Looking at gold, gold's up $19 an ounce. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. We've broken this little downtrend slash falling wedge, bullish engulfing there. So that still looks good to go higher in my opinion. We've got silver up 1.4%, looking really good. And this is that stair step pattern that I look for as we work our way on up. And I know a lot of people get really excited, but I'll just say this, guys. We've got the big pattern that's broken to the upside. Silver looks fantastic for a move higher. I would be positioned in it and not doing much of anything. That's really what I would be doing. We've got momentum. It's going on up. It looks fantastic. Platinum. Oh, my boy Platty. Ho, ho, ho. Up 3.62% today. Now, I drew this line on the closing prices here and here. So we're breaking out of that. Now, if I dive in, are we still breaking all these on the dailies? Let's find out. So I'm going to put them at the tops here. We're going to do some skimming of the tops here. So we're talking probably somewhere in that range there. Dive back in. We are playing with a potential breakout very soon. And again, guys, I'm not stating that this is just going to rip right through it. If you take the tops of the tops here, but we're turtle heading out. And we could see a small bloody nose here at resistance before heading higher. Just an FYI. But good move on the Plata boy. And it's up about 3.6%. Palladium also heading higher today. up almost 2%, right at resistance. Right at resistance as we squeeze on up into this corner of resistance. We've got the XAU to gold ratio up a little bit, and it does look good for a big, big move. We've broken out of that line for happiness, and I'm sure everyone's like, well, what do we do now? Well, if you bought down here, you don't do anything. You just wait. You just sit there and wait for that to appreciate. CRB index, flat. We are flat. We did get some selling pressure here. Not a real good looking. This looks like we could go a little bit lower in the short term. And if there is a slowdown in the market, what you would see is lower yields, lower commodity prices. And then I think the overall market would kind of roll over at some point too. CRB to S&P 500 down a little bit for commodities underperforming, and we're still in this gigantic flag pattern. Even if we were to come back, I still would be bullish on it. We could be putting in a pattern, and basically we get support in this general region down here. GDX up 1.27. We're breaking out of this flag pattern. Still looks really good. Give me some GDX. GDXJ also walking its way higher. And that's already broken out of this flag pattern there. Broken out of that one. And it looks good to continue higher. And then SILJ up 1.5%. Also looking pretty good. We have broken above it, and it's still looking good to go higher. Crude oil down 1.26%, and we are up against support, and that's where we're at. We're right on support, going across. Horizontal support in the 78-ish dollar range. TTF gas up a little bit. It's above a lot of support. Still looks okay. Natural gas in America down a little bit, but momentum's to the upside. Small little down day. Has not disrupted that upside momentum. We've got our boy XOP. Yeah, you know me. Oh, what a looking chart here. We're above the neckline. Longer term looks good. Short term, we're battling. Buyers, sellers are battling back and forth. The big red candlesticks. Looks a little better today, but again, guys, I'm going to be patient here. I'm going to see what oil does. Right on support. But this isn't confidence inspiring. I'd like to see the opposite of what we have here. I'd like to see small red candlesticks and big green candlesticks, not big red candlesticks with small green candlesticks. Not the recipe that I'm used to seeing, but doesn't mean it can't break. Um, and there's no real trend line, nothing really here in the short term. Maybe someone could say that this is some sort of like flag pattern, maybe. But let's see. OIH also getting a little bit more buying pressure today, up 0.91%. Kind of a weird looking chart here, guys. Weird looking chart. And that's where I kind of just cool it and say, okay, I'm just going to hold until we get some big green candlesticks in here and we start breaking some of these resistance levels. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down about 2%. This is your bearish engulfing that looks like we could head lower. And momentum is starting to get generated to the downside, unfortunately, for my uranium friends. URA up a little bit, right on support. And we'll see if support holds or if we'll come back within the pattern. URNM up a little bit, and we are above a lot of support. So that still looks all right. Then URNJ also above support of the trend line. We'll see if we can stay above here while the physical side, Physical Uranium Trust, kind of consolidates here and turns back around whenever that may be. It looks pretty weak in the short term, though. Then URNJ, URNM just kind of going sideways. We've got TAN up 2.27. All of these ETFs and areas and companies that are sensitive to interest rates, with them falling, they could try to push these guys higher. It's a tailwind behind TAN. It's also a tailwind behind copper futures, but we did get some selling pressure with the wick at the top. I don't go chasing stuff when we've got moves this big, guys. It's broken out. It's run quite a bit. We do have some resistance up here as we're trying to make basically, I think this is all-time highs. Yeah, we're flirting with all-time highs here. We might get a little bit of resistance. COPX also moving up quite good, 2.86%. A little bit of a wick at the top, but it looks pretty solid. I don't chase stuff here, guys. Your buy points are down here. So yes, it's run. No, I'm not buying anything up there. Lithium, this actually looks pretty good down here. It looks like it's trying to put in some work. Now, if we get lower interest rates, this might be a catalyst for this thing to bottom out and work its way on up. Same with rare earth metals, looking pretty solid down here. This does move with lower interest rates. So REMX looks really good in my opinion. And I'll share what my opinions are on rare earth metals for maybe individual companies. There's not too many either. The S&P 500 up about 0.5%. Not too bad of a candlestick right up here with some resistance. We also have NASDAQ up about 0.75%, surprisingly, and we are up against resistance as well. And we'll see if we can punch through this or not. Russell 2000's up 1.14. Is this a retest for a potential rollover? We'll see. We'll see. Not there to say that that will necessarily be the case, and we'll see what yields do. KRE, it does like lower yields, and this is where we're going to see a lot of these things start to move on higher. Emerging markets, KRE, maybe even the home builders might get a little bit of jet fuel with the lower rates. Here's emerging markets going up. Looking good, feeling good. If rates continue lower, this is going to probably continue higher. We've got XHB also up 0.86% today. And the rates will definitely help home builders if they continue lower. Moo also likes the lower rates. And it is moving on up a little bit today. And this one actually looks pretty good. We're above a lot of support. And we've broken through resistance. So that looks good for that to try to work its way on up. Iron ore down a little bit, still looking good to go higher. Still looking good. We've got nickel down a little bit, but still looks good to go higher. We've got aluminum up a little bit. Let's see, let's zoom in here. This is right on the tip here. We'll see which way this thing breaks. It's basically right at support. You could say that this is also not a pennant. I take that away there. Draw it a little bit better than what I've done. Could say that this is basically more of a flag pennant formation there going on, flag pattern. We'll see. Baltic Dry Index, we've got down 3%, and it's working its way on up. Still looks okay. Newcastle Coal doing its retest thing after a breakout. So this is the breakout here. And then we're doing a little bit of a sideways, slightly lower action above support, which means we're still good to go higher. Bitcoin down 2.44%, moving sideways within its flag pattern, and Ethereum also moving sideways or slightly lower, down 1.9 inside of a pennant formation, which still looks really good. SMCI up 5%. It's liking the lower yields, and maybe we can break higher here. The bullish engulfing. We've got NVIDIA, which is also working its way on up about 1% with the bullish engulfing. Looks good to go higher here. So I've flipped my opinions on it. This looked pretty dire here, I'll be honest, and it has flipped on up, maybe from the plunge protection team, but it looks okay in the short term here, guys. So that's what I've got for the day today. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you guys would like to. I look deep into all of the sectors, and whatever sectors provide the most value, that's most likely what I'll be talking about the most. We have a question and answer session coming up on Sunday, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. We are going to do a little bit of training in the beginning of that on how to use TradingView. So if that interests you, maybe sign on up. You'll learn a little bit about how to work this piece of software per the members' requests. And I'll also go through kind of strategies of what I look for potential entry points. And we'll apply all of these TradingView tools to entry points and what I look for and how I view these longer term charts. All right, guys, that's what I've got for today. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.